Everyone remembers the day when Rick Singer walked through federal courthouse doors and the world learned there was a market for college admission. It was March 2019 when agents converged on a quiet suburban life and announced charges that would shatter the myth of meritocratic entrances to America's elite schools. This is the story of a carefully engineered fraud, not a single burglar in the night, but a network of buyers, bribe takers, and facilitation schemes that preyed on the nation's fiercest anxieties, the fear of being left behind. Rick Singer ran a college consulting operation called The Key. To parents who could afford it, Singer offered a promise. Everyone remembers the day when Rick Singer walked through federal courthouse doors and the world learned there was a market for college admission. It was March 2019 when agents converged on a quiet suburban life and announced charges that would shatter the myth of meritocratic entrances to America's elite schools. This is the story of a carefully engineered fraud, not a single burglar in the night, but a network of buyers, bribe takers, and facilitation schemes that preyed on the nation's fiercest anxieties, the fear of being left behind. Rick Singer ran a college consulting operation called The Key. To parents who could afford it, Singer offered a promise: bypass the line. He called it the side door. Behind that euphemism lay a choreography of lies and payoffs. Prosecutors would later describe how Singer arranged a constellation of illegal acts. He paid test proctors to either correct answers on the SAT and ACT after students finished the exams, or to sit for the exam themselves. He funneled money through a sham charitable foundation to disguise payments as donations, funds that were then used to bribe athletic coaches and administrators at institutions that included top universities. Coaches, in several cases, accepted money to designate applicants as recruited athletes, even though they had never played the sport. Parents bought fabricated scouting profiles, falsified athletic histories, and seats in classrooms that were never earned. When the FBI unsealed indictments, the roster stunned the nation. Nearly 50 people charged, more than 30 wealthy parents among them, plus administrators, college coaches, and test center employees. The headline names, actors and CEOs, people accustomed to privilege, made the scandal a cultural reckoning. Felicity Huffman pleaded guilty and served a short term after admitting to paying to manipulate her daughter's SAT scores. Others, like Lori Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli, were accused of paying large sums to secure their daughter's status as fake recruits. Those cases and many others would wind through courts for months, producing guilty pleas, sentences, fines, and public apologies. The conspiracy's anatomy was methodical. Singer created layers: a front of legitimate college counseling, a nonprofit conduit to launder money, and a network of co-conspirators who could tamper with tests or lie to admissions committees. He recorded phone calls and meetings, evidence prosecutors used to map conversations, agreements, and payments. Federal agents described the scheme as racketeering and money laundering, charging Singer and others with violating the public trust that admissions should be based on merit. Public reaction was swift and fierce. Universities launched internal reviews and fired officials. Admissions officers and coaches lost careers. Families once celebrated as part of elite social circles saw reputations collapse. The headlines ignited a broader debate about inequality. If the wealthy had bought access to education, what did that mean for the millions who rely on a fair system to climb the ladder? Courtrooms became stages for a painful cultural moment. Some parents admitted guilt and accepted sentences. Others fought the charges. Singer cooperated with prosecutors. His cooperation exposed more of the network and intensified scrutiny into college admissions practices. The legal resolutions were uneven, but the damage to public faith was clear. This story is not only about the money. It is about a marketplace for advantage that flourished because the stakes were so high and the safeguards so thin. Years after the indictments, reforms and audits followed, but the scandal left a lasting imprint, a reminder that when privilege is weaponized, institutions fracture, trust erodes, and the promise of equal opportunity becomes a bargaining chip. In the end, the side door closed not with a single slam, but with a long, uncomfortable reopening of questions about fairness, power, and how a society chooses its future leaders.